Hi, and welcome to Uncensored Hot Femme. Today I have a male guest with me. His name is Kristoffer, and he is just like me from Sweden. And Kristoffer is not only a guest here to share his life experience and the things that he does to help others in this world, but me and Kristoffer also have a past together. So I'll share a little bit about that later. But Kristoffer is an amazing man who have a journey kind of going, I guess. You talk about the balance, you work with your clients around the balance, and you also talk about being like how to be a man in today's society. And I mean, it's so interesting to have your perspective on. And also, what's so special about you, Kristoffer, is that you are kind of a what's the word? Um, closet rock star. What should we say? Uh,
Wanna be rockstar.
Wannabe rockstar. Yes, I think that's maybe his signature thing to be a wannabe rockstar. And I mean, what's so amazing too is that you just share, if you don't mind me saying, your quirks online. Like, this is me, I'm just being myself, I'm just a wannabe rock star, but also I'm working with the balance and how to be a man in today's society. So I think before we even go any further, with your own words, Kristoffer, please tell the listeners who you are.
Oh, hi, Anna, and thank you for inviting me here. And you started with a fantastic, difficult question. Who am I? Uh, I am a wannabe rockstar, as you mentioned, but I could put it like this. I know who I'm not because I tried to be another Christopher for the first 38 years of my life. That wasn't me. uh, or maybe not 38, because the first 5, 6, or 7 years I was myself. I was born in Lycksele, not so far from Umeå, where you live. Amazing place. The street and the area was amazing. You had forests and woods and hills and a lot of children. Growing up there was great in so many areas. I had a nice family as well, very calm and secure family. But I was so very sensitive. I was a sensitive Lycksele boy. And I all the impressions, all energy around me just affected me so much. Uh, and I always felt like, I felt alone because it my feeling was that I'm not like the others. There's I don't know what's wrong with me. That was maybe the biggest feeling I had, and there's something wrong with me because I'm not as all the others. And I felt so much, and I remember when I had vivid fantasies all the time. Went out in the woods and I was a Ghostbuster, or I was watching up in the sky and seeing Luke and the X-wings flying by, and was just a lot of feelings, and I could sense feeling and energies from other people as well. I didn't know it then, but now I know that's, you call it maybe HSP, highly sensitive person. That is maybe a description that people know about. But I was so sensitive to everything, and that affected me because this place we're living on, even more now than when I grew up in the 80s, but it is a very stressful place. It's a lot of stressors around you, a lot of impressions, noises, sounds, things happening, things you have to do to fit in. So that was exactly what I trying to do, fit in. I started to adapt, adjusted myself to maybe not feel like I was different than everybody else. And when you adapt, or when I adapted, I became more or less another person slowly in the beginning. But the older I got, the more I turned into another human being. So that started pretty early that I started to adjust and adapt to fit in more or less. But I also was quite heavily, I mean, the stress got to me as well. I was so tired, maybe from 5, 6, 7 years old. We have a zoo in Lycksele, and I have some memories when me and my cousin we went up for the steep hill there, and I had to stop like every 10 meters or so and just and my cousin just went up. So this fatigue, chronic fatigue, started very early as well. I was diagnosed with asthma and allergies a few years later, 7, 8 or something like that. So I'm sensitive to more or less everything you can you can be sensitive to. And my brain fog started when I was 12. So, and I just wanted to survive. So what did I do? Yeah, man, I found ways to survive and cope. So I started to build like a shield or a wall, emotional wall around me that stopped some of these stressors and stress attacking me. But what it also did, changed me. I mean, it stopped my own feelings as well from coming out.
Mm.
So that was like the second step to become someone else than who I really was. Um, and that continued more or less when I grew up, when I went to university here in Luleå, when I live now, when I could create my own life. I had horrible diet, for instance, because I was so tired and I needed to find this quick fixes or quick energy kicks or feeling of energy. So I ate a lot of crap food. I ate a lot of sugar and chips and candy. Drank a lot of alcohol. I found kicks in online gaming, sex, for instance, shopping. So more or less, we talked about balance in the beginning. My balance was a bit balance. I talk a lot about balance between stress and energy. According to me, that is the main balance I have, but we all have in life, because that is the balance that decides your I mean, opportunity or your, what is the English word for that? But it's the very important balance, at least, to maintain health and to get your body functioning as it's supposed to be, but not only physical but also mental and emotional as well. So when I took a lot of bad choices on university, my balance just kept going down and down. When I started to get small depressions, and didn't really enjoy life, and trying to find the solution of how can I mean, find this joy in life, or feel good about myself, and look good in under other people's eyes. So then I started to go after this, as I realized later, fake visions and fake dreams, that if I get myself a nice education, a nice degree, and then move to a bigger city or travel around the world and get myself a nice working title and earn a lot of money and buy houses and cars and other things, then I will feel good. Then I will feel, enjoy my life and feel good about myself, and other people will like me as well.
Mm.
But that was, as I realized later, that was a huge lie, life lie, or what you can call it. So, but after university, I met my ex-wife now, but girlfriend then, and we moved down first to Umeå when I started working, and I my first real job was a job that ticked a lot of the boxes I had in my fake dreams and visions. That, I mean, you meet important people, you have a nice title, you earn money, you can travel around the world. But did I feel any better? No, I just feel more stressed because now it was a boss that decided what I was going to do and when. When I studied, I had more control and freedom to create my own. I mean, every day. So the stress just keep attacking me. And I think it was here 2009 that my real health journey or life journey or change journey started, when I realized that no, I cannot go on living like this. This isn't just asthma or allergy that makes me feel like this, because my body isn't working and my mind is slowly killing me. I don't want to live like this. So then slowly my health journey started, and I started to do some small diet changes and felt pretty immediately that wow, this makes a difference. Why hasn't anyone told me this, that it is important what you're eating?
Oh my
Uh,
God, you can't live off of pizza and candy.
I'm not immortal.
Oh no.
I actually need to pay attention to what I'm putting inside myself. So small steps and big realizations, then that wow, it matters what I'm doing with my life. My balance is important, stress and energy. But then I still had these fake dreams and visions for finding my happiness or joy. So when I got an offer to move down to Stockholm, to more or less my dream job on paper at least, and that was like also a dream we had together, me and my girlfriend then. So we moved down to Stockholm, fantastic town, but just moving from the northern part of Sweden to Stockholm, the stress level is so much higher. So that, to live in that city combined with a new job with more to do, uh, more responsibility, more travels, that just made the balance go even further down. And I struggled to more or less keep myself above the water. And here also we got married, and we became parents to an amazing boy, and that is fantastic, I mean, things to have in your life. But I didn't have energy to even for myself even. And now I had a wife and a son I wanted to give a lot of energy to. So that just created even more stress for me. And here my thoughts came that how is this gonna work? I have always lived a solution, lived a life where I tried to find solutions. This fake vision was more or less a solution to finding joy and happiness. But now I thought, how I need to find some other solutions to fix this, but I didn't come up with any solutions. So that make made it very difficult mentally, the emotions. So we more or less stayed there for 7 years. But my last job, and that was more or less exactly the title and the kind of job that 20-year-old Kristoffer would have said, this is the job I want to have. Then I will feel good about myself. I will be happy with my life and people will like me. And I managed to stay there for 3 months on that job. before I just felt I cannot do this. This will more or less kill me.
Mm.
And that made my lie. And I realized my life lie that I have been living or following a complete fake vision and dream and living a lie. And that was more or less the start of my, what do you call it, downfall or
Breakdown?
breakdown, maybe.
Breakdown
Yeah,
before the breakthrough?
breakdown before the big breakthrough and awakening.
Yes.
Yeah, so we talked together, me and my family, and said we cannot stay here anymore. We need to move back to the north because there's less stress and we have babysitters and we have friends and family there. And then everything will be all right. But when we moved and all the physical energy needed for the move made me crash, uh, a physical crash, more or less. Everything that I've more or less avoided for 10 years just came over me. I realized that my then wife, she wouldn't, she couldn't take this anymore. I knew that this will lead to a divorce as well.
Mm.
And then that made me, of course, also crash emotionally because she has been my biggest support the last years of my health journey. And also this realization of my life lie just made me crash mentally as well. So it was a breakdown on all parts of me,
Mm.
more or less. And that was a tough period. I am thankful now that I had to go through it, but then it was very tough. So I took then a decision that was a drastical decision, but it may be the best decision I've taken in all my life. I fled back to Lycksele in my boys' room to my mom and dad. And the first half year was horrible. I just tried to find reasons to live another day. But that was exactly what I needed to just be and not do anything.
Mm.
And the balance started to shift. I started to only do things that gave me energy. I put a lot more focus on my diet and ate changed my food to that fitted me and that gave me more energy as well. I didn't meet a lot of people. I spent most of my time out in the woods walking and that gave me a lot of energy as well. And slowly the balance started to shift. And then when I crashed, also this emotional shield or wall I built when I was very young also crashed. So I started to sense a lot of feelings that I've forgotten how they felt since it was like when I was 7, 8 when I shut down. Now all these feelings just came over me. In the beginning, it was the tough feelings. It was anger, sadness, loneliness, sad, depression, and anxiety. But after those feelings came up, I realized I had a lot of nice feelings below them. They were more or less pushed down by this, darker feelings or what you like to call it. So then I started to feel like, just a joy of living that I never ever felt since I was a small boy living in Lycksele and was walking around in the woods and just being.
Mm.
So I more or less changed my life completely from my breakdown and my crashed home in Lycksele. I helped myself, started to help myself and just realized that, wow, is this how is this it feels to be living? I don't need a lot of money or fancy titles or a big car to feel like I'm living or be satisfied with myself. I'm just want to live a life that fits me, where I can be myself. So that was uh, a journey that I'm still on, but especially the first couple of years there, from the crash and the first couple of years, when I more or less changed everything, it happened. So much happened during those years, and started to feel a lot of more feelings. I met so many new fantastic people,
Like me.
like fantastic Anna that popped up from nowhere through a phone call.
Typical me.
Yeah, typical you. And I started to just, I mean, these energies from environments, from activities, but not the least from people. I started feeling energies from people that, not all people, of course. Some people I just felt, wow, this isn't anyone I want to be close to or spend time with. But I felt so strong when it was people that, if you call it, resonated with me, share the frequency, or if you want to talk more spiritual language, because a spiritual awakening also came after this breakdown. Um, so I felt that I'm not want to work with IT or technical stuff or things like that, even though I like tech stuff now as well. But I want to do something that helps me. I want to help other people to help me, or help me through helping other people, because that is the best damn feeling there is. The feeling when you realize that you are making, or you are a part of great changes in another person's life, and just see how their life is changing for the better, and how you can feel their energy is changing as well. And not the least, you can see it in their eyes, how the life is getting back in their eyes, because according to me, you can see everything through the eyes. It's like the
Yeah,
what you call a mirror of the soul.
exactly.
uh, and I know from, yeah, my friends and relatives, when I crashed, they said that you look more or less dead in your eyes, like a
Mm.
zombie.
Yeah.
And I hope that I doesn't look like a zombie now in my eyes, because I feel very much, very much alive.
You look
I'm
very
alive.
fresh. Yes, you look very fresh, Christopher.
Thank you, Anna, and you too. Uh, so it was a tough. I'm so grateful for everything that's happened in my life. Uh, some periods was extremely tough and hard,
Mm.
but they have all taken me where I'm now, where I live a life where I can be myself. I'm not perfect. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell no. I mean, but I like myself, and I can be myself, and I don't think so much about what other people think about me. Right now, I'm wearing my best T-shirt. It's Europe, the Final Countdown.
Oh
For
my
you
God.
who doesn't know that, it's a hair metal Swedish hard rock band, melodic hard rock band from the 80s. And this is very, uh, I would say, uncool right now, but I don't care. I love the 80s. I love Europe. And I feel good wearing this T-shirt. I have my whole wardrobe full of 80s T-shirt, heavy metal, and all TV series and movies from the 80s. And I have that because it makes me feel good. It's who I am. And when I feel good about myself and I'm being myself, I meet so many fine people that also likes me, but likes themselves as well. So I met so many amazing human beings the last couple of years. So I'm so, excuse my language, so fucking grateful for all the people I have around me in my life right now. And I'm so fucking grateful that I have myself, because I am the most important person I have in my life. Even though I have a brother, I have a father, I have relatives, I have friends, and I have my amazing son. That is the one I love most in my life, but I love myself as well. And if I don't love myself and live a life that I feel good with, I will not have the energy to give to my son. So that everything starts with me, and
Mm.
that can affect people that I love around me positive as well. So
Yeah.
that was a long, short story on my my life and why I'm here. And and this I mentioned is involved the spiritual awakening and new visions in my life, but also the thing with that we talked about before we started this conversation about this, I mean, masculine and feminine, and being a man in the northern part of Sweden with
Especially in the north, right?
in the north with everything that comes with that. So, is there anything special you want me to elaborate in or talk more about?
Thank you for sharing. And I mean, I know your background story, but now you have shared it with the listeners too. So that's amazing. And I mean, there is many things that we can dive deep into. First of all, um, the thing around, I mean, I think I want to elaborate around this wall you put up because I believe that you are not the only one, and I don't think it's gender specific either. I mean, I've been shut down probably the most of my life until a few years ago with the occasional crazies where I'm like, fuck this and go
Yeah.
like super crazy. But if you would explore that more for anyone listening and from a male's perspective, like the shutdown, you said you were very sensitive as a child. You had a really big fantasy life, and then because of this sensitivity that you described, you put up a wall, right? You built an armor around
Mm,
you,
yeah.
emotionally, maybe physically too, I guess, since you are telling me that you were like shut down also physically. So if you
Yeah.
could explore that more.
Yeah. Great question. And this is something that has affected my life so much. And it was more or less a survival mechanism because I've been doing a lot of analysis and thinking back about my childhood and why everything happened. And it started up as a survival mechanism because I was so overwhelmed with all the stressors and impressions around me. So to more or less survive in the environment, I put up this wall, and it made it a bit easier to live short-sighted. But if you look at the longer, the bigger picture, is, as I said, it's changed me completely, not only on the inside but also on the outside. Because I found an old picture. I think it's from when I'm maybe 17 or 18 years old. I look like a robot.
Mm.
I love Transformers from the 80s. That's one of my favorite series, and I have a lot of Transformers in my cabin down in Lycksele. But I looked like a more or less an evil Transformers, Megatron or something like that.
The evil. Why did you look
No,
at
not evil, but s- no emotions at all. And it was didn't look that I enjoyed living, more or
Yeah,
less.
okay. So
Um, and but after, because we and our bodies are amazing to adapt. So after a few years after I built it, it became my reality. So I didn't realize that I shut down my feelings. So I just thought, this is me. And that has affected everything for me, like everything from friendships, from relations, love, sex, all kinds of emotions. I was never angry or sad. I couldn't feel any feelings at all back then. And if we look at this wall, and when it came up and I became someone else, I tried to also like this fit in. And we have this with being a man in the northern part of Sweden. I grew up as I played a lot of football, a sports guy, and I looked at not all, but many of the other sports guys played hockey and football, like big and manly and tough and loud and sitting at the back of the classroom and annoy other people and the teachers. And yeah, I tried that for a while, but it just felt completely wrong.
Mm.
But I still tried to follow that way of living because I'm a man. I live up here. I need to be like other males that play sports. And yeah, I can also see that the girls, they like them. I want girls to like me also. So I need to be a bit more louder in the classroom. But it just felt completely wrong. And even though I had my emotional wall, I was still a very, I mean, calm and soft guy, I would say. So I never, I tried to be, if you call it like toxic masculinity, or I tried to follow that role, play that role, uh, and it just felt so wrong. Uh, and I would say it's now after my breakdown when the first years when all the feelings came up and I nurtured my feminine side and embraced my feminine side. That was the first time I felt really manly. I'm a man, yeah, but when I embraced my feminine sides and found a better balance, now we're back to the balance again. I just felt that I can be a man, but I can cry to movies. I can be weak and care about other people and sit in the back and just listen and still be a manly man. So that has been also a big part of my journey, and it has been closely connected with the emotional wall as well, because it was when that broke down that all the feelings came up, and I started to embrace my feminine side, that I felt much more complete, if you call it like
Mm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, toxic masculinity isn't true masculinity, and I guess we all are just trying to find this wholeness within and our own unique expression. And I mean, I don't know how it is to be a man in today's society. That's what this podcast is about. To truly like come home to our feminine and masculine in our own unique blend. But
Mm.
so what I'm hearing is that you shut down and it affected everything, but you try to, I think of it like this way how we suppress pieces of ourselves and then we put on these other layers or like masks. So it just becomes so fucking complex because it's not only the layers of the things that we like the roles we created to play, but also the things that we suppressed. So it's of course such a journey to find our way home in that. And in your story, how you had this breakdown in the end because it just became too much. So like this wall also, then you were emotionless, totally, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no emotions at all, and you can see that physically as well in on me and in my eyes and in my face.
Yeah. Do you remember how you felt on the inside?
I just felt tired, not depressed, but anxious, and just like walking around life with a black bucket above your head and not enjoying anything, more or less. I had to go to this more extreme highs or kicks to feel anything.
Yeah.
And that's not living,
No.
according to me, because yeah, I always had to have, I mean, have something to look forward to. Oh, I'm going to a trip then, and I'm gonna shop these things then. Then I built some kind of, yeah, wow, now one day closer to the big trip to Barcelona, or there I'm gonna buy that, I mean, that big computer or something like that. And then it built some kind of, felt like energy at least, and some emotions in my life, but they were just like short lived.
Mm.
So more or less, I lived a life without feelings. And I remember you know, my now ex-wife, amazing human being. We still have a great relationship, even though she have a new family now, and I have. Yeah, we are living completely different kinds of lives now. But when we were together, I mean, she liked to talk. She liked to like hold hands and things like that. And I couldn't see why. What do we have to talk about now? And why do you want to know about my day? My day was crap. I don't want you to ask about my day. Or why do you hold my hand? I just get stiff and sweaty. And I
Mhm.
couldn't feel this, that, wow, to hold your hands with the person you really like. That is amazing. But I couldn't feel that kind of sensations or feelings.
Mm.
And that is something that has exploded now the last couple of years. And I think I mentioned a, a few times back when we met, uh, I think when I met you,
Yes.
you, you started some feelings in me that I hadn't felt before. And I've told this to you because it, it was you, just your energy, positive energy. And I just felt, wow, what is this kind of a person? And she, I just feel good to both talk with her on the phone and sit beside her and just look her in the eyes. And then, you know, you took a test or something, maybe blood test, and it was like electricity when you touched my hand. I'm like, what is this?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I had never felt that before. And I think I called you sometimes after that and just trying to describe what I felt. And Anna, I felt something when I was with you. I don't know what it is. And I don't know if I tried to explain it, or I don't really remember that. But it was so crazy to feel those kind of feelings.
I know.
And and it's, I mean, now the last couple of years when I feel these kind of feelings, not just by meeting amazing people, but just going out to the woods and feeling the sun on me, or listening to the birds, can also just give me these amazing feelings. Oh, wow, what am I feeling? And that is, I have found, I call it, it doesn't sound as good in English as in Sweden. In Swedish is levnadsglädje, but joy of living.
Yeah.
Just to feel alive, to be grateful to be alive right here and now. It doesn't matter if you're in Vietnam or on a rock concert or building Lego or just standing outside in the woods, closing your eyes and listening to the birds. But that feeling of feeling alive, that is joy of living. And that is most amazing feeling there is in my life, at least.
Mm. It is
So
it's bliss.
yeah, bliss or flow or whatever your ecstasy or nirvana or whatever you like to call it. But that is my main driving force in my life now. So my vision is to live a life that gives me that kind of feeling as
Mm.
much as possible.
Yeah, I love that because what's interesting is yes. So Let's dive a little bit into our past
Yeah.
story. It was funny. Well, I'm a potent activator.
Hell
No.
yeah.
But it's interesting. It's because we had kind of the similar, we were at the kind of the similar place in life when we met. And unknowingly, um, I called Christopher because I started to work with a company doing blood tests, as you say. And I remember I was in your town and I was trying to get customers. So I was sitting at the hotel in Lycksele, and I remember my mentor telling me like, and I just call one more. So I was about to give up. And I remember I was sitting in the lobby and I called you. And I remember also already on the phone and well, I can be a firecracker and talk very talkative. I think you said also, I don't know if you remember that you normally don't say yes to those things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you said yes to me. So I think you didn't have the time then, so we booked a meeting and we came back and we
Mm.
met in this coffee shop, me and my two mentors, and we just sat down to talk. And what you're saying is true because I mean the energy was there, of course, but when I took Christopher's hand, it was like an electric bolt
Yeah.
happened. And I
Exactly.
mean, I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
was 4
my
years ago.
4 years ago.
Almost 4 years ago.
Oh, that's crazy. And me too. I was like, what the fuck? And I remember it was like creating this connection with you. That was so unexplainable. And yeah, so I mean, I was just going to try to get you on board on the team. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, and I think was it that I came back to give you the results, maybe, or like,
I think it was like this. You called me because, and we booked a Zoom meeting because you were going through the results of the
right?
blood test. And yeah, we had a great talk then. And I also felt that, wow, it feels so natural to speak with this person or this woman. And then in the end, I think you just said, um, I could come by and visit you. Do you have some weekend here in maybe late May or early June? I was like, what? Because in all my life, to reduce my stress, I've always lived by planning and being in control. So spontaneous, that wasn't a word that existed for me. About what? And I thought, yeah, what the fuck? Why not? And I checked my calendar and yeah, I'm this weekend I'm not doing anything. So you're welcome to come here. So
I'm laughing. I love to think back of this. Yes. Okay, so I totally disrupt and it wasn't really in that sense like I was like thinking you would be my boyfriend or something. It was just
yeah,
I was really spontaneous. It's kind
yeah,
of in my character to be very spontaneous and impulsive, and I
yeah,
call it my curse and my blessing. I mean, I really break the let the guy invite you because and it's I've had to try when we talk about balance, I've had to try to balance this side of me, but um yeah, I probably blurted out. Can I come visit you? And then I did. I did
you
visit.
did, you did.
Do you remember what we did?
Yeah, we took a long walk, I remember, and we went by my house and met my father,
Yes,
and then we went back, and I think I cooked up some dinner.
you
Uh,
did.
yeah, and then I asked, I think, do you want to stay to watch a movie, a horror movie? Because we both like horror movies.
Yes.
Um, but then you said, ah, man, I need to go, or because we had said that you would go after the dinner. But then I also remember that I think you stopped halfway and just sent, "Thank you for the day." Damn, why didn't I stay and watch that horror movie with you?
All crawling in my chair. Yes. Yes. And I mean, to let the listeners in, I also my awakening started kind of in a similar way like yours, with my physical health, especially being so overwhelmed by stress over the years. So I started to detox. I tried all different kinds of foods. I couldn't like walk. My body was totally crashed. And I mean, my mental health was crashed even before, but I did wait till my body crashed. It needed to be totally physical for me to change it.
Yeah.
But that's also what we had so much to talk about because we had
Mm,
kind of a similar background story in many ways. And
mm,
we're kind of in the same like obsession over the same like the foods and
mm,
those things. But yes, because I had just broken up with my boyfriend, so we still lived together. But I also was really still in 2021. I was kind of pretty shut down
mm.
still in many ways.
I remember you slept on a like air mattress
Yes.
or something like that.
Oh my God, if everyone knew what crazy shit I've done to gain my sanity and my health. Yeah, I did. Like I've done so much crazy shit just to become healthy and well again. It's actually kind of crazy. I thought I would never live a what's a normal life anyways, but yeah. Anyways, so I mean my impulsiveness. But then I said no. Um, and I'm pretty glad I did in many many ways. But yes, I did stop my car. Like, what the fuck? Why did I leave? Because we had this connection. Like as you say, I hadn't felt it in that way before, and I didn't understand it either. And I remember one night laying in my bed and like when I closed my eyes, I saw a picture of you, Kristoffer, and it was a literal bolt between us. And I'm like, what does this mean? And I think those about the emotions, the spirituality, like we can't make sense of it. Our logical mind can't make sense of it. And in 2021, I think it was, yeah, I had really many visions and stuff I couldn't make sense of, like crazy shit was going on. Yeah. So then we kept in touch, like back and forth a bit, but then I also moved to Stockholm and like,
Mm.
yeah, we this story didn't end there. And here,
No, I I I have some yeah, but this spontaneity or the spontaneous way of living that you show me when you, hey, can I come and visit you? That really affected me because that was more or less the beginning of my life with more spontaneous way of living. And now I'm sitting here and I still have my planning and control, but I'm so much more spontaneous now than I ever been. So that was something that really has made a powerful impact in my life. So thank you for that, Anna. But another thing that I think it was the next thing in our journey together was, yeah, you moved to Stockholm, but then you also started to discover or dive into this with tantra
yes.
and with the sex and energy and that was also something that around that same time I I started to realize that man, living a life completely emotional shut down, sex for me was just a physical sensation, more or less, because I couldn't feel, man, this kind of other types of emotion or energies uh, during sex, and especially, I mean, since I only had one relationship, but especially before that relationship, when I was dating much more, and it was only about the hunt and the physical excitement and so on. But then I mean, after a few years, when I started dating again after my breakdown and trying to find and remember who I really was, and I mean, what do I like, appreciating other people, because that's also an important part about remembering who you are, what you like in others, or what other qualities or characteristics make you feel good. So I dated for maybe 2 years, and that was, Emma, I needed that. It was very important for me. But after those 2 years, I started to feel that no, I'm done with this. I need I need something more, and because I've had some experiences when when it came to sex, that just wow, can sex be like this,
Yeah.
with a big emotional and energy uh, change or output. So so when you started to talk about this with the tantra, I was also started to think in, you know, that sex must or must, but sex can be so much more. So that was also something that influenced me, because I think we had a couple of meetings, and I think you did an interview for something you did about male sexuality and tantra, and you had an interview with me, and that was also very good for me, because then I could really speak about all the thoughts I had here. Uh, so that is also, that has something that has affected me on my journey. So where I'm now, that I have much less sex than I have ever had right now, but when I have sex, it's so much more than before. So thank you for that as well.
I think we have a
And
meeting, but yes, it was impactful.
yeah, so yeah, but you have been an important part of my journey. So I can say it like that, and you have affected me in many ways as well, and you're just a amazing person, because I feel this when we're sitting here and speak. You are giving me so much energy, because I was a bit tired this morning. There's a lot of allergens and pollen now, and I'm a bit tired. But now we're starting to, when we're talking, and but wow,
Yes. Yes, we are co-creating the energy.
we are.
Yeah.
Energy is everything.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to take a breath. But yeah, I mean, I think in some ways in the beginning, when you kind of don't know anything, it can be a good thing, because you're just so curious and you're like, what's this? And I don't really get it, but like I'm exploring it anyways. And you kind of, yeah, I think it can be so amazing in the start of something to actually not know, because it's so much mystery in it. And it's like, yeah, I was really spontaneous. And on the other side of it, like from my perspective, meeting you and other men that is more planned, like I've had to develop that side of me. So I love how interactions, if we allow them to impact us, to see how someone's opposite traits are our medicine. Like for me, my spontaneity has brought me to amazing things, but it's also brought me to bullshit things. Like, I mean, everything has kind of a dark and a light, or not a dark, but like a good and a bad side. Like,
Heaven and hell.
yes, heaven
I
and
call it
hell.
heaven and hell.
Yes,
Mm.
and we need to find this balance that you talk about. And my balance is maybe not like your balance, but if it's the polarity in everything. We need the counterpart. And I think when we can meet people and like in this example of you and me, like we can impact each other in a positive way. And I mean, you were part of my journey. I remember. Oh my God. You were in Stockholm and you invited me on a date.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
You remember that?
yeah. Was it me that invited you, or was it you that invited me?
I think it was you.
I think it was you. I don't really remember. I know that we went on a dinner at least, and then we had some discussion. What do we call this? Do we call it a date?
Yeah, yeah, it was very interesting.
It was a nice dinner, at least. I don't know what we should call it, but yeah, I think when can that? Maybe a year after
Yeah,
or
maybe in
something.
2022 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
time.
because you lived there
Mm,
then,
yeah.
and yeah, but I remember we went out and had a some nice food, and I think we went to some pubs and so on, and I had a couple of glasses of wine, and I had not been drinking alcohol for like almost 10 years since my bachelor party because I felt that no, this is just crap for me. My body cannot handle alcohol. So remember, I don't know, maybe only two or three glasses, and I was just, wow, whoa, party on. And then I think I kissed you
Yes,
at the end, or
you did.
uh, and I don't know what time but I need to try. I need to try. And then I more or less fell back in my old role when I was in the 20s and I was drunk at the nightclub and just the goal of the evening was to find as many girls as possible, to kiss as many girls as possible. And then I thought, I'm gonna kiss her, and uh, and it was, I mean, it was, I don't remember so much, but it was kind of a strange feeling,
Yeah.
and not strange, but I cannot really describe it. How would you describe it? Do you remember it?
Okay. Do you want me to tell the truth?
Yeah, please do. I say strange. What do you say?
I thought it was awkward.
Yeah, yeah, awkward. Yeah, awkward or strange. Yeah, that
Yes.
was a better explanation.
Not like to like how is this going? Like, yeah, it just felt very awkward.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. Exactly. And I felt that even though I had had a couple of drinks, and then after a couple of drinks, you don't feel anything at all.
Yeah,
But
I know.
yeah,
It's interesting.
and it just yeah, man, just felt this energy we had because we had a great energy during the talk, and just when we kissed, it just but wow, what happens with the energy now? It just feels strange or awkward.
But I wonder, like, I don't know what you felt, but I wonder, like, I was still pretty shut down in many ways back
Mm,
then. I wonder if it's my like avoidance or like I still struggle with intimacy in
mm.
many ways.
I could tell, and because I mean, I mentioned we talked about is this a date or not, and you were like, no, this isn't a date because I felt that you were afraid to call it a date because then it would be a step up from an ordinary friendly dinner. So I think there were, or I got the feeling that you had some barriers then.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if it would have been different. Like, it was a very eh, I was on my journey, and I still, I mean, there's so many depth of intimacy to discover still. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm at some kind of end goal because I'm certainly not. Yeah, but I thought it was awkward, and I remember calling you like to practice also, like to tell you that I just wanted to be your friend. Do you
Mm.
remember that? It was
Yeah.
really hard for me, but I wanted to because I really liked you and enjoyed
Mm.
your company and your energy. So I didn't want it to become like I want. I think I just wanted to make it clear, but it felt very awkward to do that too.
Yeah, but I remember that call. I was in the subway in Stockholm then, and I just felt after that that great that she took the lead on this because, as I mentioned, I didn't know what I was feeling. It was so many feelings, so it just felt, oh, yeah, thank you, Anna, more or less that you said this is the best. But then I know this was before Christmas. Then I went home and I spent some time with my son. We was out playing, and then was when all these thoughts and feelings came up. What is this? What am I feeling? And it was after that when I got home to Lycksele, I called you, as I told in the beginning of this conversation that, and we talked, or I tried to ask. I'm feeling, I feel so much, but I don't know what I'm feeling. And we had, I think it was a pretty awkward conversation as well about these feelings that we felt both that there was a lot of energy, but at least me, I had no clue what am I feeling? What am I feeling?
Yeah, and I think that's a biggie for both of us. Maybe having walls and I don't know. It was an exploration for sure.
Oh yeah, and it still is.
Yeah.
I can recognize and know what I'm feeling much more now in different areas of my life. But it's still times I feel a lot and I'm struggling. What am I feeling? And also this difference between feelings or thoughts that come from your head, your mind, or
Mhm.
when you it comes from the heart, your intuition. That is maybe one of the biggest struggles I have now. Where am I feeling from? Because my mind isn't always or maybe never leading me in the right direction, but my heart is.
Yes.
But that is, I mean, that's a big part of my journey right now to dare to listen to that voice or feeling from inside my heart.
Yeah, I mean, that's the journey to come home to the heart and the body.
Mm.
I mean, we need the mind too. We need everything. And
Balance.
yeah. And I mean, I think maybe sometimes in some ways, I mean, biologically we are differently wired as men and women. We are different and the same. So I don't know, like if we always need the exact same approach, and we are unique individuals too. But I think what's amazing with our story and like your story is that we might have been awkward, but we didn't run anyway. Like we didn't run away. I think that's bravery from both of us that we
Mm.
like we did we were awkward and we were like but we tried to talk and tried to explain and tried to
Yeah.
support and tried to share things. I mean, um I see that as something amazing, although it was awkward. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like we said goodbye or like this person is awkward. Like it was mutually awkward.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like awkward when you're a teenager and your first kiss. It was like that. What is this? What am I feeling? Am I feeling anything? And it was not like, ah, this is wrong. It's just part of a development or a journey. And at least I felt immediately from the first time we met that this isn't a coincidence. This human being or person or woman, she will play a role in my life, small or big, or I don't know, but I just felt that she will play an important role in my life. And you already have, and I hope that you will continue to do it as well, because you are even though we're not seeing each other so much because we live in different towns and I mean, we don't have contact so often, but you still are there in my, if you could, call it life or flow or on social medias and things like that, and you are still an everyday inspiration for me, because you have and showed me a lot of the things that I needed to work on. But this with the spontaneous things, and you are, you don't plan and think so much before you do things. You're more, no, I'm doing this, rah! And that is something that I have had to become better on, or do more, because if not, I will still be in my planning phase for my company and all my masterclasses and webinars and group programs.
Mm.
So you have been an R, still are a big inspiration for me there.
Thank you. And I just want to highlight what you're saying because again, this is we don't tell other people to do something. We inspire each other. And like it's up to each one of us to answer the calling. It's not like I'm telling you, Christopher, like you should explore tantra.
Mm,
Like,
okay.
no, because we just get influenced by each other. Then get curious and we're like, okay, I'm trying this, or I like this thing in this person. Maybe I should explore that. And I think when we can see relationships like that, because maybe it can be easier too. I mean, if we would be a couple, maybe it would be different. We would like push up against each other's fears and walls and stuff like that in another way. But I believe that we get attracted to someone because of what we are lacking many times in ourselves, and we get very excited by it. And as time run like goes on, or maybe it's early on too, it can also create fear. It can create irritation, even like the thing that makes us excited also rubs up on us. Like, oh my God, for you who are a planner, being with someone that is super spontaneous would maybe be exciting, but it would also be like very painful if yeah, like if you're trying to plan stuff and someone is like, oh. So I mean, I think that's such a part of human experience. And when we can view relationships like that, kind of like cross training each other, like, oh my God, you have this trait. I feel attracted to that. Am I lacking that in myself? Should I explore that to come more home to my wholeness? And what I also love is that you say that this sensation when we met, you experienced it like it was something that activated you, but you can find it being out in the woods now. So you didn't, I think sometimes we think it's the person,
Mm,
but the sensation was in you, the sensation was in me. And that doesn't mean, I think we sometimes crave people or a person because we think they are the one that is making us feel this, but we are the one experiencing it. And you have found it in other places. And that's just amazing how you are. I really want to highlight that because I think it can be so easy to think like it's the person, but it's.
mm. Yeah, wow, that's beautiful, Anna, and I agree. And I, when I, after my breakdown, when I started dating and started feeling that, wow, I would be nice to find someone to make me feel better and make my life more complete. It isn't to find another person that will give you the sense of feeling more complete. You have to, feel like you're complete before you can meet a person that you can create a great relationship with. As you say, it starts with yourself. You can meet people that start this journey of finding yourself and your relationship with yourself. But you can't rely on that. Oh, I will find this beautiful woman here that will change everything in my life, because we have our own journey, and
Yeah.
we can be influenced from other people, but it still is your own journey. And the longer you come on this journey, the more people you will meet, and the more amazing relationships you can create with other, since you have created stable relationship with yourself.
Mm.
So when I helping my clients, it's not what I'm telling them to do. It's the energy or the feeling they get from meeting me that
Mm.
starts the thing inside them to do this journey. Because I say I'm very clear with it's your journey. I can help you on your journey, but I will not do your journey for you because I cannot. I have my own journey.
Yes. Yeah, we walk the path, but no one can walk the path for you, but we can walk side by side and support each other. And yeah, I really love what you're saying because I think we have, doesn't matter if we're a coach, a mentor, if it's our partner, even our kids, a friend, like we have these patterns of trying to maybe save someone or fix someone or being saved ourselves. And when I meet men like this, and I mean, I've fallen over to being a little too cautious sometimes with my spontaneity and playfulness because it felt a bit uncontained. Like I can't just, but I fell over almost to the other side because sometimes it feels like I have this fear of meeting someone that do. I call when I meet some men that maybe experience what you did experience with me. Um, I'm afraid that I can sense sometimes that I'm not saying it's true, but like they want a safety blanket or something, and I can't like be that person for someone. Like
Mm.
we can support each other, and I think that's in dating can be still be a bit of a struggle because um like I like we have to be able to hold ourselves, have this intimacy with ourselves, and like I don't want to be that person for someone. Like if you can sense what I'm
Uh,
saying.
I'm following you. Oh yeah, and and that is, but it's not easy to come there or to reach that that part of the journey where you feel like I feel so grounded and secure in myself. So now I feel ready to meet another person where I can be myself with all my flaws, faults, bad habits, and amazing qualities as well.
Mm.
And that journey will never end because it will go on as long as you're are living in this body or that body. But it's such amazing feeling when you're getting further and further on that path, and by just sensing that, wow, yeah, I realize now more about myself and things that I really do not like with myself, but I'm not afraid to show it. I'm not hiding it. And if that person that I'm now dating doesn't want to be with me because of that, well, then we were not meant to be together. We will never, at least now, could be together. So because yeah, both you and me, we have adapted all our lives, and that also has affected when you meet people and people you're interested in, and how can I act now so she will be more interested in me. Uh, when I after my breakdown, when I started to dating, I fell into that old habit. I fell into that yeah, man, way of adapting to fit in and to make other people like me more. Uh, but that has happened a lot on that journey, and that is of course very much to do with self-love and self-image and also self-confidence. That yeah, man, I am who I am, and I'm not perfect, but I'm fantastic, more or
So if you
less.
don't wanna be rock star, there's the door.
If you don't want to be a rock star that plays with Lego and Transformers and He-Man toys, well, your loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, I mean, we all want to be accepted for who we are. And I don't know about you, but like the growth mindset is extremely important for me in someone I meet because yes, we are who we are, but I'm sure we can go deeper and transform even more. So I mean, I think transformation really start with acceptance of self and others, but also this balance of like we still need to challenge each other. I don't know, what's your perspective on that?
Um, I would love if if I can see myself in future in a relationship. I would like to be a relationship with someone where I can feel secure and be myself, but also, as you said, someone that challenges me to to remember myself even more or grow or what you would like to call it.
Mm.
Because a life without challenges, that will become a quite boring life.
Yes.
All kinds of challenges, not only personal challenges, but card challenges or technological stuff challenges or so challenges brings development. And challenge is also to have a big sun in your eyes, like you have
Yes,
now.
it's a fucking challenge. My cheek is all red.
Yeah.
I'm like, should I pull? I've been moving the. Okay, I should be grateful for the sun, but it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can notice me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree because I mean, I think we can get really lost in the fairy tale of relationships or like this, oh my God, it's supposed to be bliss and amazing and we should be high on life all the time and like I think who we are really gets tested in the hard, like when the challenges arise, how we can hold ourselves then, or do we retreat to old patterns?
Mm. And you mentioned fears before.
Mm.
One of my favorite heavy metal bands, Iron Maiden, have a great song, Fear of the Dark. But I realized that one of my biggest challenges in life is, I mean, my physical body has, I love it, but has created a lot of challenges. But my fears,
Mm.
and they almost all of them come from here.
Mm.
They are maybe still the biggest challenges I have. And it's so frustrating from time to time, but I'm so happy that they still are there because it makes me develop myself all the time, challenge myself. So, and these fears can come from anything, from people, from situation, activities, sounds, smells,
Mm.
and usually connected to old traumas and old fears from, I mean, from childhood and growing up.
Mm.
But that is my biggest area of potential right now, the my fears.
So, I mean, you talk about balance and energy and stress. So, I mean, we can't just exile our fears in that sense. But if, like, how much energy do you think your or our fears take?
Oh. I can only I it's easier to speak about myself because I am myself, and but my fears drain a lot of energy
Mm.
from me. And then it's, I mean, it's mental energy, or mental, it creates mental stress
Mm.
because I see it as a scale with stress on the other one of the scales and energy on the other one. So my fears create a lot of mental stress, and that drains and eats up a lot of my energy.
Mm.
So but every little step I take on battling my fears and my demons
Mm.
gives me even more energy every day.
Yeah.
So I'm living in more like I love video games and old action role playing games. Diablo is one of my favorites when you're hunting demons. So I see my life, not all the time, but sometimes when it comes to demons, that I see my life as the computer game Diablo. I'm here to conquer my demons, and that will give me a level up. I will
Yes.
get more. I will become stronger, get more energy, and enjoy life more.
I love that. And it's so true. I mean, when I started my podcast, I was like, okay, I was pretty full of rage after some dating experience, but it was like noticing and observing things around me. And I was like, people are trying to fight battles on the outside. And I'm not like saying we should live in a world where things like, okay, just leave the wars for them, like the external wars. But like, if you I really believe that the outside reality is a mirror of our internal reality. And if you're fighting a war inside, then of course the war on the outside is a reflection of that. Like if you fight with your partner all the time, like how could you create peace in your relationship if you're fighting a battle within yourself? And I'm not saying that we will come to this nirvana, whatever you want to call it, where it's never going to come of things that we battle against, but like how can we soften into those battles? How can we love ourselves in that? Because the peace is truly on the inside. Like, if we can't have peace in here, we will never find peace in the outside. And then we go back to the beginning of where you told me that you were hunting the exterior validation of the cars, the money, the titles. You told about like being out drinking, kissing the women or the girls. I don't know how old you are, but like, yeah, and I'm not saying exile that either. I mean, I feel super cool when I walk around in my cool glasses outside. I'm like we don't have to exile any
Mm,
part.
mm,
Having that internal battle is super drainful, and in my case, like I feel like when we get stuck in it, that's when we hide. That's when
mm,
we um, isolate ourselves, or we have different coping strategies, and it's yes, we need this intimate relationship to ourselves, but I do also believe we can't heal in isolation. We are people like we're meant to be in tribes.
mm. We are, even if you're introvert or extrovert, we are more or less social creatures, if you call it like that. And and I agree what you're saying that I mean it starts on the inside, and you have to start with those, if you call it imbalances or battles within yourself, because if you don't start with them, you will always find external factors that you can put the blame on. Ah, it's my boss, it's my girlfriend or boyfriend, or my car is crap. uh, but I'm using the external life or world like this, that if I'm finding a battle inside and I just feel that, wow, this takes so much from me right now, I need to take a break from fighting my internal demons. So then I use the external world to do something that I really like or enjoy, that gives me energy. Like I push the pause button, and now, all right, I love going to cafes and drinking my coconut latte and watching and talking to people and read a book or write something for the next week. Many times I do that. I ask, but no, I don't want to spend more energy right now to fight the inner battle. Up, I'm taking the car into Luleå. I'm going to Wayne's Cafe, taking my amazing coconut latte, and just try to be there and now, and take in all the impressions, and look at people, and talk to my favorite barista that works there.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives me so much, and then I can go home and yeah, man, have a nice evening, and then maybe the day after I feel that, all right, now I can go inside myself again, and take care of those demons.
Yeah, and I love what you're saying because pleasure is very healing. We can call that a pleasure thing
Oh
for you.
yeah, it's a huge pleasure for me.
Yeah. And sometimes actually when we can do that, maybe the pain we were battling wasn't something to battle sometimes even. Like it just melts away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The day after, it usually feels much less
Yeah,
intense
exactly. So I
or
mean,
difficult.
we need different things at different times, and just to learn, yeah, as the other that have been on the podcast, like know thyself. And that means that what works for you might not always work for me. Like we're unique individuals, and that's why we can't tell someone like do this or this or this, because it might not even fucking work for you. Like it's like,
Yeah, I agree because you are you and me, I am me.
yeah, but we
Uh,
can inspire each other, and I think that's
mm,
so much more potent than telling. I've so been in the space of like trying to, oh my God, this person needs to know this. I need to tell him. Like, if he would only meditate, it would be
yeah,
so much better. Like,
yeah. We don't know that if
no,
that's good for. And meditation, that can be totally different from for everyone. Because
exactly.
meditating for you, maybe you're sitting with your eyes closed for 90 minutes and just float away. My kind of meditation is to build Lego,
Mm, I love that.
and we all have, as you say, we can be inspired, but we must find our own ways that works, or when you feel your balance and with everything, not just meditation and pleasures and relationships with it's with everything with diet. I work a lot of helping people with diets, and a lot of talk now about animal proteins and vegan food and so on. And I said, you must feel what you and your body feels best with. I
Mm,
can give my recommendation or advice based on my experiences and what I know about you and your journey. But it's up to you to feel what works best for you.
mm. Yeah, and then we come to this that we say we want to be free, but please tell me exactly what to do so I don't have to figure it out on my own.
And then you're not free because then you are leaning on someone else's
Mm,
truth and wisdom. And
yeah.
that's the opposite of being free.
Yeah, and I think the greatest teachers, mentors, coaches, they are supporting you finding your own truth. Because, I mean, if we come home to the body and if we get as clear as we can in our mind, in our head space, so we have like both the top down and the bottom up, that means that I feel in my body when it doesn't feel good because I'm connected with my body. And I mean, I can eat crap nowadays. And if I do it for too long, it feels like shit. But then I just notice it and I take care of myself. So it's not as sensitive for me. Like, when we met, if I like ate even something that was quote unquote bad,
Mm.
I would be kind of sick. But I've tried my way, and the more I've had all these levels of balance, as you say, it's like this container of expansion, of holding and energy, that the sensitivity becomes less because we have created more resilience, we have more tools, our body have created new patterns, and we know what foods are maybe like a super no, or like, yeah. So I mean, I'm grateful because for a while there I thought that it felt like I was living in a prison almost.
Mm.
Like, okay, wow, yes, I go to the gym, I eat carnivore.
Mm.
Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I needed that back then. But like,
Mm.
if I would have had to eat carnivore for the rest of my life, oh, okay, my body didn't even like it after a while. Because we are different and we might
Yeah.
need not get stuck either. You might need different things at different times. There might be times when you need more structure and planning. There might be times when you need more flow and more like spontaneity. Like that's being an alive human being to respond to the situation, I think.
Yeah. That's that's living,
Yeah.
more or less. And you have to find your own way and what works for you. That is the best advice anyone can give anyone else.
Yeah.
And then you can give tips and advice and inspiration on on the road or on the path or journey.
We're going to round this up, but one thing I wanted to ask you before we stop, and it's not really fitting in here, but I really want to know. So did you, because I don't remember if you have told me this, like, did you consciously create goals? You said on paper this was goals were goals that you felt like was good, the titles, the jobs, and stuff like that?
I was, since I when I started with my survival mechanism and adapting and building the wall, I also started mentally to create my solutions
Mm.
or goals to be able to enjoy my life and feel good and be healthy. And it was pretty clear goals, precise goals. It's not like I wrote them down, but I had them here pretty clear that, like, product manager, that is a role I want to have. But nowadays, I work not with goals because I know myself better now, and goals usually turns into stress goals for me. So
Mm.
now I live by vision. I have a broader vision that's not, I don't set a time or exact details. It's like a broader picture, how
Mm.
I would like to feel, where I would like to live, or what I would like to do in broader strokes. So now I live by my vision, and I have a lot of things in my vision that I've fulfilled already, but it it always evolving. So it comes new things into my vision as well.
Mm.
So, and that works for me to live and live my life and do changes towards my vision. And that gives me inspiration, motivation, and energy instead of stress. That
Mm.
my previous stress goals, it only gave me stress.
Mm. But you achieved them.
I achieved many of them, but did
Yeah.
I feel any better?
No,
Hell no.
no, I really want to highlight that. Yeah, yeah, it's all about like how do we want to live?
Mm,
How do we want life to feel? And I believe that in the end, even those goals, you were looking for an experience and a feeling, right?
yeah,
You thought like, or what I would think was that you thought that you would have something when you had the car or when you,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I thought that, I mean, I thought that this this would get me the feelings I couldn't feel
Mm.
if I reached these goals. The energy, because I was so tired. I mean, I more or less never was genuinely happy. I thought if I reach these goals, I will feel this happiness within myself, my joy. But the more goals I reached, I just felt that now I'm just feeling worse now. And then it was new goals, even higher up,
Mm.
like a never-ending story towards the breakdown.
Yeah, and you said that like you were so numb and shut down, so like sex, shopping, all the addictive things. Did they make you feel something?
Yeah, for a short time. And when that waned off, I just felt worse, like hungover. I mean, alcohol felt good when you had the first couple of drinks, you went to the nightclub, but the day after felt so miserable. And it was the same with the other highs or kicks as well.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Okay. It feels like we are at the end of this goal. I feel complete.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like there is anything more that you would like to say, like where can people find you? What do you help people with if they want some more Christopher magic?
Yeah, I try to help and guide people to remember who they are and dare to be themselves by creating or doing lifestyle changes that works and and fit the life they want to live. And I mostly work or guide HSP people,
Mm.
the same as me, highly sensitive people or persons, because that is something I mean, I know the struggles or challenges they have in this super stressful environment and world and life we are living right now. And it feels like my calling that
Mm.
it gets me so much energy to help those kind of amazing people to start feeling more and enjoying life more. And that will in turn inspire so many other people around them. So it
Yeah.
creates like a beautiful flow around this globe we're living on.
I know, it's the ripple
Wow.
effect. Yes, like one, touching others, touching others. I love that. And
Yeah.
yeah, so what just comes to mind is like if someone is listening to this and they're like, don't even know what highly sensitive is, I can imagine some are still in that place where you used to be.
Mm.
Maybe this can be like an eye opener for them. Maybe they are still this um, on this hunt for
Mm.
the shiny object.
Yeah. Hopefully this can inspire some people out there. And if you feel that what I'm talking about resonates with you when it comes to this sensitivity and being shut down and don't really feel like you are living a life that that suits you. I also have a podcast. I hope it's okay if I can
Yes.
do. That's called Högkänsligt. You
Yes.
can find it on all the platforms. So there, me and inspiring guests, and I hope to that you would like to join me for a coming episode. Anna, we have talked about this before, but there, me and inspiring guests are talking more about this with being HSP and challenges and also benefits because I see it as a gift. And my company, it's called Livstidsbalansering. If you'd like to know more about me, and I'm on Instagram as well. I'm the only Kristoffer Ejebro in the world, so you just
Oh my
have to write it in, and Livstidsbalans med Kristoffer will pop up. And
yeah,
I'm glad to connect with you all there.
I love that you're the only one in the world.
Yeah. Wanna be rockstar.
Yes. I don't think the name is so much rock star. Do you have you should create a rock star name.
I have a rockstar name,
Oh, tell me.
Chris Fury.
Oh my God. Oh yes, Chris Fury. Oh, I love that. Okay. Well, thank you so much for today, Christopher, and for sharing your story. Always so amazing talking to you.